question. Now, if it takes about a paragraph to write, know that it takes about a minute for me to read it, and all you're seeing is the top of my head, which isn't a great learning environment. So if it is lengthy, I might ask you to wait till the end to be able to share that, and you may need to share it again, just because sometimes that chat feed is moving pretty quickly, and I may lose it there, and I don't want to waste your time looking for something. So as you're coming into the room, I know 6 people just dropped in. This is where you can actually get a copy of the handouts in the slide deck that I'm using, as well as the link that I just dropped in the chat box. Tap on that and make sure that you do download those. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and jump in now that we've got our housekeeping out of the way. And we're going to be talking today because of SCORE. This is why I'm so happy to be here. SCORE is such a wonderful tool because it's great to have information, but until you apply that and have the local resources, that really can't help you grow your business or make an impact on the quality of life of your community. Now, as Bill said, I have been in digital for a long, long time. So I didn't grow up in a cubicle. I am not just born and raised there. I actually cut my teeth grassroots, building from the ground up a small business that's recognized by the Texas Governor's Excellence in Small Business Award. So I know what it's like to be butcher, baker, candlestick maker, as well as now trying to figure out YouTube, video, artificial intelligence, analytics, be a data whisperer, and still take care of your customer. So I understand what that balance looks like, and I'm not trying to give you information that's high tech. In fact, I put it in practical terms so that you can do that in cracks of time while you're still being that great server to your customers with your product, service, or solution. So today we're going to talk about how you can use YouTube to grow your business. All right, Heather, I love it. Heather, I love the energy. So let's use YouTube to grow your business because we know that people have been using video, haven't they? If we didn't know it in 2020, when the world changed and TikTok had its great opportunity because we all didn't have many places we could go at that time, that is when we really saw video take off, and that hasn't stopped. In fact, a lot of the algorithms, including Google's, puts a lot of favor, meaning a lot of advantage to video because it knows that's what people are searching for and that's the way they want to consume information. Now, if you look at the blue link in the middle, that is everything Google. If you want to find additional information there, you are welcome to use that. Take a look at that. Let Bill or your SCORE mentor know from your local SCORE chapter. Let them know what you're interested in, and I'm happy to come back to go into deep detail because I've been doing this for 8 years. And I very much know the Google tools, and I know them from the trenches because I use them every single day. You'll see the first handle after my name there is at Maria Duron. That's me on X or Twitter. So it's Duron, Maria Duron, or at Marketing Coach Maria is me on Instagram. I share those because if you do apply what you've learned, I want to celebrate that with you. And I want you to let me know on socials and share you out with my network because it's very rare when people actually don't just look and have great intentions and then it turns into edutainment. It's rare that people actually take what they've learned and start applying what they've learned. So we know people are watching on YouTube. We've got long form YouTube. You've seen it before, the how-to manuals, even some of the product guides now don't even have the instructions written there. They might have a few pictures on how to set things up, but everything else as far as the actual instructions and how to live on YouTube. So we've seen that long form, but then there's also short form, which now is up to 3 minutes. It used to start at 60 seconds, but it's up to 3 minutes, as is TikTok too. TikTok actually videos can go up to that long. So that tells us something about people's attention span since 2020, doesn't it? So we also know people discover a lot of products and information through YouTube. People are watching YouTube. There's a generation now called Gen Alpha that doesn't even know what cable is anymore. They don't have an idea. They watch things on Prime, on Netflix, or on YouTube, right? And a lot of people will even say when they've learned something new, they learned it new at YouTube University because they're watching videos on YouTube. So today we're going to be talking about how you can create your own channel. Now, if you have your own channel here, let me know by dropping your channel link in the chat box. I'd love to know where your channels are and be able to get a little information. Where the downloadable materials mentioned, here, I'm going to drop it again in the link below right there. Michelle, just tap on that and make sure you download that. We're also going to talk about how you can create and add videos to your channel. So do not despair, those of you who have a YouTube channel. This is not just going to be like, oh my gosh, it's old information. I don't know if I should stay. Because I'm going to be talking about how you can optimize what you're doing, not just set it up and use all the default settings. I'm going to be talking about optimization, because if the search engine doesn't see you, and understand Google also owns YouTube. So Google search, and understanding Google search algorithm is important to understanding YouTube's search algorithm and how you can show up high in search, and understand YouTube search results do show up in Google search, in organic Google search. So it's very important for you to be able to know how to optimize this, not just for SEO, traditional SEO, but now we have AEO, answer engine optimization, which is powered by AI. All search is powered by artificial intelligence. And it's only going to increase more through 2025, 2026, and beyond. And if you don't know how to navigate that, then you're not visible. And if people don't know you exist, they can't do business with you. So as we look at this, we're going to be talking about YouTube Shorts, and I'll talk a little bit about ads, because I don't like to talk about the paid until you max out everything free. You'll find that I started 20 years ago as a bootstrap marketer. I've got 17 plus years in international e-commerce. I am about making sure that you get profit and enough margins to be able to survive and grow your business and do what you promised your family when you started your business, and the sacrifices they've made. So I'll talk about video ads for just a moment, but really some of the free things that you can use there, and then a little bit about the paid, but really I want to talk more about the free because most people aren't maxing that out. So let's dive into that, how to create your YouTube channel. And thank you to everybody who shared their YouTube channel in the chat. I love that you're doing that. So we've got people who've started out already. Now I'd love to hear from you on your YouTube channel, what kind of success that you're seeing and what kind of challenges you're seeing as well. Let me know that in the chat box. So as you set up YouTube, you'll see you can go to youtube.com. You can also go to your regular Google account, which a free personal Gmail account is a Google account. So you can go there and see how to find YouTube. Now, how many of you know how to do that? Okay. You know how to use the app keypad. Because if you don't, I'm going to bring that up real quick just so you can see it. And I'm going to bring it bigger. So you'll find I do a lot of live demos, because it's one thing to see something on slides, and it's quite another thing to see it in real life, right out in the wild. So let's go ahead and do that. If you're in your regular Google account, you'll see up next to your name and your little icon, or it could just be a initial. If you haven't put a photo or any logo there, you'll see the Google apps. Click on there, that app keypad, and you can find YouTube there as well. All right, so that's how you can find it. If you have a free personal Google account, you're already set for YouTube. You don't have to create a sign in for YouTube. Now, when you're in YouTube, you can create a channel, and as any other Google tool, you'll see a couple of ways to be able to do that. What you need to do is click on create a channel. If you click on your actual icon or the initials, so you'll see a little profile silhouette there. If you click on there, you'll see the opportunity to create a channel. But you'll also see, as you log into YouTube for the first time and really look at designing a channel, it pops up the ability to create a channel. And then got lost in knowing what to do. No worries, Vivian, I understand that. I mean, you've got to take care of business too. You're an expert at what you do, not necessarily an expert on YouTube, but I will show you how you can maximize it to get the visibility that you need, which is really what you're looking for, that visibility, credibility, and profitability. And my challenge is not getting views and comments. Absolutely. So if you have not optimized for SEO, search engine optimization, which makes the search engine feel confident and trusting you, or AEO, which lets AI know what you do and shows you in AI overviews in the local pack, and in AI mode, which is the new search that just started 2.5 weeks ago, then you're not going to show up. So that is a challenge. If people can't view your channel if they don't know it exists. So let's make sure you've optimized and AEO'd it. So SEO and AEO. All right, so we're going to deep dive into each of those. Do you create a different channel for your business under a different Google email? If you want to, but you don't have to, okay? A free personal Gmail account can get you wherever you need to go, but some people want to use a business Gmail account or even brand it for their business, like being at their name at abccompany.com, and you could decide to do that, Freddie. It really depends on your preferences, okay, and the branding that you want to do. Oh, absolutely, Heather. ChatGPT and I've actually been involved with AI since November 2020, so I know it very well. and I love to use it that way. But there are other ways you can optimize it too. And I usually talk about that once a month on really how you can make sure not just your descriptions, but there are SEO and AEO things that you need to do with your channel, like chapters, like timestamps, and your boilerplate template that you use. So we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But let's get through the setup part. So now you can customize your channel. Now, how did I get to all of these? I actually went into YouTube. When I'm customizing my channel, I'm going into what's known as YouTube Studio. Okay, so YouTube Studio, you'll see that in the drop-down menu, and that is where you want to go when you're setting up everything within YouTube, your YouTube channel, and you want to customize that. So what does that look like? All right, well, let me take you there real quick. I'm going to, again, give a live demo. So let's say you're in YouTube, and I'm just going to bring this up first before I share it on the screen because sometimes YouTube gets wild on what will actually present itself. So let's see. We're in YouTube, and we're going to look at the icon or the silhouette or my photo because I've uploaded my photo here. We're going to click here, and we're going to see YouTube Studio. So that's how you can get to YouTube Studio. You can also switch accounts. If you have other accounts that you're managing through your YouTube channel or through your Google account, now you can switch that account. So if I go into here, I can go into my actual, there we go, YouTube channel, and you're going to go into YouTube Studio, which gives you the back end of YouTube where you can do a lot of things. And you'll see that create button is where you can upload or even go live. But here's where you can get all the analytics on the back end of your YouTube account. So you start with a YouTube Studio. And again, I got there by utilizing that drop down menu. Okay. So as you customize your channel, the first thing that you want to do is look at your layout. Do you have a video trailer and a spotlight video? I see many, many businesses that do not use the video spotlight. So just know that only 29% of businesses have a YouTube channel, and of those who have a YouTube channel, only 6% have done all the optimization correctly. That's why I'm spending the time doing that. And also for people in the room who haven't set up their channel, so they don't get into any bad habits and waste any time. So the first part is your video spotlight. That is first a trailer. A trailer is what a trailer video is, just like it sounds like, a preview of a movie trailer. It's giving them a preview of all the value and the richness that you're going to provide to them in your channel. What can they expect and when can they expect it? It's to entice them to click that bell, click that subscribe. You want them to do that, but you have to give them a reason why, because none of us want to get overwhelmed with notifications. We've got plenty of those. Nobody needs more emails notifications either. So you have to give them a reason what it is that you do that is helpful to them. And that does mean that you have to be an expert in your customer. And that's on you. You have to do that heavy lifting of connecting the dots between what it is that you do and what it is that they're looking for and how that's a match for them. If you don't do that, then you're just expecting them to figure it out and you're hoping that they'll do that. And while hope is wonderful to have, it is such a poor strategy. So you need a video spotlight first. Now, once they subscribe, what you're going to get after that is now the ability to spotlight it. So you've got the trailer first. Now you have a spotlight video. So if they watch the trailer and they subscribe, normally what the next step is in a spotlight video is to thank them. Thank them for subscribing and say, thank you for subscribing. This is what you're going to get. So you're going to remind them again, because all marketing is about setting up that great environment for an exchange of equal value. And when a relationship ceases to be mutually beneficial to both people involved, then somebody leaves. It happens in businesses, friendships, even marriages. So know that you've got to let them know what it is that they're going to get. Tell them and tell them again. That's exactly what you're doing in the second video, and what the expectations are and what and how they can reach you or get support if necessary. So that's the video spotlight. And then that is the trailer. The trailer brings them in. The spotlight says, thank you for subscribing, and then takes them even deeper into what you're going to provide. Now, the featured sections, those are what's known as playlists, and they look like bookshelves under your actual video. If you have not set up your playlist, then you're also in trouble there, SEO and AEO wise, because you've not given Google or YouTube, because it's the same search engine running both, you have not given them any reason or any understanding of what it is that you provide. So what do I mean by that? The featured sections. Let me show you that again in a real live Demo. Okay, let me look real quick. There are some questions here. So does spotlight video only populate after someone subscribes to your channel? Exactly, Donna. It doesn't show until somebody subscribes to your channel. The trailer video is what they see if you have a trailer. Now, if you just do the spotlight video, then you're not going to see the trailer video, then they'll see the spotlight first. But you have two videos there, and I see too many businesses not take advantage of that. A trailer video entices them to subscribe. For those of you that had just dropped in, this is how you can get a copy of the slides and the handout. You'll get it emailed with you later with the recording, but just so that you know, you can get it right now and download those. Just make sure you download them because you might want to apply what you've already learned right away, which I love that because knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. Just sharing that again to everybody because that's so important. Can I send users from an old account to my new different channel? You can't merge them, Carlo, but you can absolutely let them know and invite and entice them to be able to come there, especially if you're working hard to get their email address, which is a great way to stay connected because even with socials, not just to YouTube, but even any of the social platforms, if they go down for any reason, unpublish you, or it's like Meta Armageddon, which was Facebook and Instagram, which has happened a couple of times this year already, go down, then how are you going to be able to reach those people? So again, it depends on your strategy. How do you know someone is using that brand in the event their handle isn't exactly the name of their channel? You would have to double check to see if it's already taken. Okay, so that's what, and I'll show you how you can do that. Okay, everybody? All right. Can we all follow each other? I love it. See, networking always. You get more than 3 or 4 butts in seats, which this is more than 125 of us in a room. Definitely, I love the networking going on. Can we get the slides? Will they come in later? You are going to get the link to the PDF. That's all you're going to get is a PDF of the slides and the handout are there. Okay. All right. So you'll get all of those there. And of course, you'll get the recording. Leela, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you'll get the recording so you can slow me down, speed me up as needed. Okay. All right, so let me show you why you want to do playlist. All right, so what a playlist is actually I'm going to go out to my channel and I'm going to have to stop my trailer video because it will get noisy. All right, so what a playlist is look underneath how I have set up. Of course, the for you don't see. That's me seeing it because I'm logged into my own YouTube channel or YouTube account. But I have a playlist for popular videos. I have a playlist for the most watch visibility tips. See how, and what I'm doing is I'm using keywords in here that people are actually searching for. So how do I get those keywords? I actually read people's reviews, the reviews they leave for me, as well as the reviews of competitors. And what you'll find in reviews is people write reviews about things that matter most to them, which are the things they were searching for in the first place. If they say, great customer service and really does live practical demos, then that's what they were searching for. Somebody who can train them with Google, non-tech speak, great practical demos. So I use that in all of my search engine optimization and answer engine optimization because I know AI is using this to do and populate AI overviews. And I want it to find me and link to my channel or any of my digital properties. So you'll see how I've named it with names, with titles, just like with a website. Titles and descriptions have heavy weight, meaning more value in the algorithm, and Google takes more consideration there. Market moments, you'll see how I consistently brand names. So not watch the naming function here. I start with the name, meaning it's market moments, which is all of the courses and the training that I do. It's colon, and then it's all the information. And what else do? I put the year. The reason I put the year is because we don't want to find information that was good for Google back in 2004 when Google was born. It's not relevant now. It's changed so much just in the last couple of months, let alone since AI completely came in full swing in 2025 January. It's changed so much. So when you look here, I also talk about market moments, AI, AIO, AI modes, which is called AIM. That's just started 2.5 weeks ago. Generative search, AEO, answer engine optimization. So I talk about getting chosen by ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, how you can get chosen there. So you see how I've used these playlists. Now, the big thing also to look with a playlist is, let's see, oh, I'm actually in the channel. Let me go back to here. Oops, I know it's going to come across. There we go. When we look at the actual content, you can see with playlist, look at how I've used SEO of the playlist. So this is not a video description. This is a playlist description, because as you see here, every playlist has a description underneath it. See it? These are the most watched videos, right? You see all of that. There's a full description. So if somebody coming to my channel looks at this, as well as Google search, they can look and see all of the details, that description. Then they can also see the description on each of the videos here. So they see it for the whole playlist because they might want to watch the whole playlist. But you see how you can use all of those to optimize, and you have over 5,000 characters that you can utilize. So a character is an alphabet item, so an alphabetical character, a numerical character, a space, a comma, a grammatical character. So you could use those and see how much you can customize your actual channel when you do that. You can also bring in branding, and this is important because consistency and trust is not sexy when people are asking about, oh, it's the silver bullet of how to make YouTube marketing or any marketing on digital or to be seen by Google. How do I rank higher, Maria? I just want to know the silver bullet. I wish there was a sexy silver bullet, but there isn't. What there is consistent, persistent action. When your logo looks the same on your Facebook page, on your LinkedIn profile, business profile, on your Instagram, on your TikTok, now I see consistency of branding, and it's trust building in the human mind as well as in the search engine. And if the search engine doesn't trust you, there's nothing in the world you can do to get to the top of search. All right, unless you just pay for an ad, which gets us now into the pay to play, and it can become very expensive. So you see, a lot of times small businesses, especially small business owners, they get bored with their colors, their branding, and their logo and the profile picture that they're using before anybody even knows that it exists. So the same with your banner image. And what's nice is that it shifts, it's mobile responsive. So it looks good on any device, which is really important because we all on average, this is new statistics from 2025 January, we all on average have 5 devices. Just think about it. Laptop, iPad, tablet, phone, desktop, and smart TV. How many of us have that? So we do have on average 5 different devices. All right, I see some questions here. Let's see. Oh, I dislike otters so much because they just flood the feed with stuff, especially when you get to your 30-minute mark, and you're going to get recording. So you're good to go. I use otters, don't get me wrong. I just turn it off when I'm in a webinar because I know it can be distracting to everybody in the chat. Ask one to subscribe. Why do they? Because when you subscribe, now you get notifications. So Eric, the reason you want to ask them to subscribe is they get notifications when you actually have posted a new video, or when you have a live going on, or let's say even if you do Google Shopping, live shopping, or you make comments, it helps build community, which that is much more important than likes and subscribes. So likes and subscribes, just like with social media, those are vanity metrics. They give us that quick little high that we like of popularity, but they do nothing to grow the bottom line or to build our business. What we're looking for is engagement rate. So how many people actually watch our video all the way through? How many return to watch our video? And of those of us subscribed, how many actually do tune in when a new video comes on? So that's really important. How many of us comment? How many of us share? Those are engagement numbers. And those are the real numbers where followers, subscribers, that's just vanity metrics. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're looking at the right numbers, not just the numbers that give us some great endorphins, but numbers that are actually going to fill the pocketbook. So as we look at channel name and handle and description, now we can customize and brand it. Remember, if you can have the same name, like I have Marketing Coach Maria across Instagram and YouTube, as well as LinkedIn, that's really important because now you see the consistency in branding. You can also put a description there, go into great detail, and remember to lean into the words that people are using. This is so important because if you don't use their words and you give them words you think they're supposed to use and they should use, then that's not helpful because it could be industry speak. Your experience could be so far away from their experience now, since you've been working with your product, service, or solution for a while, that it may not be helpful anymore. All right. So if you subscribe or not long as you, I say, what does it matter? Okay. I think that's okay, Eric, I'm going to ask you to repeat that question at the end because it is a paragraph long, and I really want to make sure that it's a good learning environment for everybody, but I don't want to dismiss your question. Okay. So I do want to come back to it. Okay. and some seem to be long. What if it's a strategy of and reasoning? Oh, we're going to talk about that just a moment. So there's a lot of questions here. Let me get into the thick of it because I'm really going to talk about the strategy you have of long and short form and what you need to have videos about and what your videos need to include and how to do your videos. So we're going to get into that, okay? All right. Personal photo or logo, it just depends. It depends, Heather, if you're a thought leader or not. Okay, so if it's a thought leader and it's your photo across all your profiles, then use your photo for your YouTube channel. But if it's a logo, then use a logo. Now, do understand, people like faces. I mean, there's a reason back in the day when we would all read newspapers that we would dive in, and we still dive into when people put pictures and videos up because we want to see if we know anybody in there or are we in there, especially if it's from an event or something happening. Okay. All right. Now, your banner image, remember, you want to make sure that's good and branded so people see that. There's a reason when we see the golden arches as we're cruising down the road that we know exactly what they are and what they mean. The profile picture, again, because we know consistency builds that trust. And then also there's that video spotlight or a trailer first and then a spotlight after they subscribe. Take full advantage of the free tools you have available to you. I'm all about maxing those out. And just as I was doing a live demo for you, here are how you can group those videos into sections known as playlists. Because again, 2020 brought us into the TikTok world, right? But we also saw Netflix rise and actually teach us to think episodically. So we don't want to see a 2 hour long video. We want to see that section where they were talking about how you can make the great heirloom tomatoes or how can you fix this in the engine. We don't want to watch the whole darn thing. Nobody has time for that, right? Everybody right now is about instant gratification and we need it fast. So as we create and add videos to our channel, there are other things to be considered. We need to understand the technology of what we're doing. Do we need to have what's on the left, that full studio? Because maybe we're branding ourselves as a scientific medical brand, and we need to show that we are precise and we are professional and we are pristine. But maybe we need, and we have everything that we need, just so you know, in any smartphone, it's all set to be a full studio. We might need instant. We need to give them the chance to see the background, the authentic, the transparent, and they need that BTS, the behind the scenes, to give them that exclusive look that they can get as a fly on our wall where they may have wished that, and now we're giving them that window and that opportunity. So what's the purpose of your video? Never do a video just on the fly because now you're going to do and make content that you're searching for a purpose and a strategy behind it. Know exactly what video that you're going to do and why you're doing it. What's the purpose? What's the end result? What do you want them to do after they watch your video? Okay. So what's that story that you want to tell, right? What is it supposed to do afterwards? What's that success action? You will know if this video is successful if they do what. You are the expert in your business and you need to fill in that blank. Okay, so that's important. I'm having trouble getting the banner the right size. How do you do it? Oh, Catherine, there are specific maximum and minimum sizes when you're uploading it. It's a very small print when you do that. You can also Google that, or if you reply to me when you get a copy of the slides in the recording, I'm happy to help you through that. Okay, just so you know, you'll get it'll actually be coming from my email when you get a copy of the slides. Yep, I use Canva as well. Heather, I do use Canva and I utilize, but I put a custom size in for YouTube. So great, everybody. I love, love, love that you see some networking happening here. Let me just make sure I haven't looked over any questions. You're welcome, Catherine. You're very, very welcome. Perfect. All right, great. Now, who is the star of the video? Is it you? Is it a customer? Is it your product? Is it your team? Who is the star? You also need to determine that because you don't want to try to put everything in one video. If it is disorganized, people will leave that in a hot minute. They don't want to see anybody else's chaos and they don't have time. They're inundated with 12,400 messages in any given day. They don't want to figure it out. You better put it and connect the dots for them or they'll go down the road to your competitor. So who is the star? So a lot of times people like to start with a business story. But I'm going to tell you the first story I like to start with because I know about storytelling techniques and I understand that ingrained with us, we do like the hero story. If you think of 5 and 4-year-olds, anytime they're going to bed, what do they always ask? Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story. We love stories as human beings. We as adults, though, fail because we do this. Okay, I'm about to tell you a story. Well, that's just like showing your summer vacation photos up on a wall or something. People get bored, they tune out, they're not paying attention. Think like a movie. drop them right into the action. So for example, I could use 30 seconds in a video and say, hey, my name's Maria Elena Duron, and I'm a property and casualty insurance agent, and I can help you with insuring your home, your vacation home, all of your toys like your AVs and your tractor, your trailer. I can help you with making sure that if anything is undervalued or there's a fire or any disaster, I'll take care of you. You can reach me as Maria Duron at 555-1212. I can say that. And that's what you see a lot of people doing when they talk about their business story. Or they go into this long, horrible story of, when I was 4 years old, then this happened and this happened, and then I was traumatized, and then this happened and this happened. And pretty soon we're lost in the many chapters that it's taking to get to the point. So what's the hero story? Here it is. It's the 5-year-old hero story. Once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. Let me demonstrate that to you. Hey, I'm Maria Elena Duron, and when I was 8 years old, there was a knock on the door. My father's an insurance agent, and a family came to the door with a fruit basket, so they're so grateful. Their house had burned down. They didn't have to worry about anything at all because my father had done all the valuation for them. He took care of all the paperwork. Everything was organized. All the family got out, and they were grateful that they did not have to stress about really what was not important, but would be important later. It was at that moment that I decided this is what I want to do. I want to help families when they don't have the time or energy or are too stressed to be able to take care of all the other things. My name's Maria Duron, 555-1212. What did I just tell you? I dropped you in the action. Once upon a time, I was 8 years old. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Luckily, my dad was an insurance agent. Happily ever after, I realized that's exactly what I wanted to do. The structure of the 5-year-old hero story is once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. So you can use the business story, who you are, but understand, focus on who's the star. Is it you? Is your product? Is it your solution? Is it your company? Is it your environment? Is it your customer? Is it your team? And then the product or service story explaining the benefits of your product or your service, how it works, solving the problem, really taking them through that. And you can also then do the promotional story. This is new, coming soon. Get a peek at this. It's not in yet, but you're getting a sneak peek of what's arriving in the back room just right now. So you can give them a chance for some of that behind the scenes look as well. The big thing is you have to be concise. Too many times we get so darn excited that we get everybody's attention that we start throwing everything but the kitchen sink in there, so it becomes confusing and they leave us. You can always see that in a video because you'll see they watch the first 3 to 8 seconds of a video. Know that a 1-second view is nothing. That's just somebody with a big old finger tapping a little too heavy and then not being watching the video, realizing they made a mistake. But what you need to do is look at anything that can keep them there watching the full video. The full video is best. It tells the algorithm that this is helpful information to them. It also is actually helpful information because people are pretty discerning with their time, energy, and money. But we need to be clear and concise. We need to make that strong impression in the first 5 to 15 seconds. You do have that kind of time frame with long form YouTube. Understand TikTok, it's already known that with TikTok's algorithm, you have to have something pretty powerful in 0.06 seconds. So when you're looking at YouTube Shorts, keep that in mind too. Remember, attention spans have changed since 2020. And do you have a compelling or wonderful call to action or timely offer? Tell them what to do next. This is important. If you just want them to watch the video and they're supposed to figure that out, they're going to get distracted. They're going to get a Slack message, a text message, their kiddo's going to call, something's going to happen to tag them away. And when they come back, they're not going to remember what to do next. Did you give them a good call to action? And you have that on every single one of your video. Because why did you create the video in the first place? What was the reason? And what does success look like if that video does what you wanted it to do? Okay? So that's important. Let me see some questions here. Okay, let's see. Uh, to edit videos. Oh my gosh, there's so many out there, Eric. I can't even think of one because there's so many. It really depends on your focus and your strategy. because while I love AI is amazing at so many things. It's still not perfect on photos, and sometimes they want to see the photo of the people that they know locally, especially if I'm working with a local service provider. But yeah, I'm a big fan, Freddie, of CapCut. Yeah, that's one of the easy peasy ones to use as well. So there are common techniques you can use to film video. You can take a selfie. We mostly know what that is. You can have a backdrop. You can have a voiceover. Understand that if people can't hear you, like if I'm at the San Diego Comic-Con floor with 100,000 of my friends, they can't hear 5 foot me standing amongst 6 foot people who have crinkly bags on their back, carrying all their goodies and loot from Comic-Con. So I will do a voiceover. I'll do the video from the floor, and then I'll do a voiceover so that they can hear me. You can also do what's known as top down. So that's when you have your actual camera or your phone, if you're using it as a camera, and it's showing something from the top down. You may want to do that for an unboxing or showing how to do something or a big reveal. There's the point and shoot. There's the in action. It could be told with text, with captions only. I do encourage you to use captions because 64% of us have everything on mute because we don't want to be outed when we're in a meeting. And so we are reading the captions to see if this is something we want to save and watch later, or it's worth us turning on the volume and listening, as well as animation. So you can use that link at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen there to be able to find out more. Yes, there's going to be a printout, Martha, of this. There will be. It will be emailed to you later, but right now you can actually download the actual slides, and you're going to get a recording of this as well. So you can download the actual slides in the handout at the link that I just dropped in the chat. Just tap on that and make sure you do download the items, and then you'll get the recording later today after it renders, or tomorrow. So it could be within 24 hours. It just depends on the rendering. All right. The things we need to look at then when we're making video is look at the space behind us. We've already gone through lockdown where we saw all sorts of significant others coming out half-dressed, unmade beds, and cats doing wild things in the background. So we don't want to see that anymore. We also need to look at lighting too. Natural light is best. So if you can be next to a window, that is best, but you may not be able to be there. For me, for example, my window is way, way, way the heck over there. I've got 2 Lume cubes. Those are Lume cubes. I don't sell Lume, but I love them, and I love that they're portable, and I use them wherever because I'm in a corner of my office, and so therefore I can use the Lume cubes to enhance lighting, and I don't look like I'm just some random person in the shadows there speaking in the dark. The third item, though, sound, is the one that we're unforgiving about, okay? Just so that you know. If sound is crinkly, it's kind of that fading audio, or it goes from a high to low volume, we don't like it. If we can hear wind in the background, somebody has their ceiling fan on and they don't realize that it's just making a gust of wind right into their mic, we will leave it. We are not forgiving of sound. We don't mind if you're back in the dark somewhere, even if the lighting in the video is a little bit shaky. Just think of, back in the day when we all watched Blair Witch Project and thought that was interesting. They don't care about the cluttered space, but if sound is a problem, they will leave your video in a heartbeat. So it's really important to think about that. Even when I'm on a Comic-Con floor, or I was at the Bar and Restaurant Expo, the International Bar and Restaurant Expo in Las Vegas last week, I am mic'd with a mic right up next to me. So there is a wireless mic that actually is connecting to my phone. Now, if you do need music or sound effects and you don't want to be hit with a copyright strike, use YouTube's free audio library, because you've got the audio library right there. And this is all free sounds that you can use. You're not going to get a copyright strike, which is really important. Okay. Yes, you can include captions directly in YouTube. In fact, that's just one of the settings, Freddie, on YouTube. You can do that. Yeah, Google has free editing software too. Yes, you can use it through your phone. I'll show you that in just a moment. Okay. Yeah, Google has a lot of the free tools already. It's just some people prefer CapCut for editing because they may use it in Instagram. Best sound system that you recommend? I mean, I'm using my Logitech webcam right now. So it is the high-end 8K Logitech video camera. So it's got video and audio to it. But I've used Blue Mic before. I like Blue Mic with, oh, email me or reply to the email when you get a copy of the slides and the recording, because I have my portable mics. I just can't think of the brand name of it. Okay, so I can send that to you if you ask me and remind me to, because sometimes I'll forget. Once, especially since if a chat is super busy, I might forget to show you that. Now, how you can add videos to your channel: you can create and upload and select those videos. And oops, I don't know. There we go. The video details, for some reason that slide jumped up there. I'll have to go back to it later, but you're going to add the title. Remember to think about how people are searching and think about your naming function, how you name it. Well, like I showed you, I name it Market and Moments, colon, and then the name, plus I add the date or the year behind it. The description, what kind of description are you going to have there for it? So a good description will utilize lots of different things. You'll turn a long form video into chapters. So you'll put chapters. Timestamps, just so that you know, are part of YouTube SEO. If you don't have timestamps listed in your description, then you're missing out on a big part of YouTube SEO. And they'll also have a good thumbnail that draws them in, not clickbaity, but still interesting. And people's faces are interesting compared to just straight graphics. Now you can put subtitles in, you can put those in, but you can also put captions in. So you just have to click that on whenever you publish your actual YouTube video. There's an end screen. So the end screen can direct them to your other videos. So you don't have to worry about it just saying some random videos, suggesting other videos that could be a competitor's video, but you can have an end screen showing what the next video is that they need to watch of your video. And then of course there are cards, those pop up. So if you say something like, you can find us at abccompany.com, now you can go ahead and have that card pop up that actually shows it visually. So they're getting the audio, the auditory, as well as the visual, which really solidifies it even more in their mind. As it's being uploaded and rendered, you can see if the checks are coming through that it's HD, so it's high def. It's going to show good on YouTube TV, especially if people are using a big old smart TV. It also has completed and it's found in compliance of all the copyright issues. So there's no copyright strikes whatsoever. All right, now you see visibility there. You can either save it, you can make it private. So if you make a video private, that means people have to be logged into their email address in order to be able to see it, that exact email. And the downfall of that is many of us have lots of Google accounts or Gmail accounts because they're free and easy to use. You can make it unlisted, which is really good because unlisted gives a whole long handle, a website address. So the URL is a lot of numbers and letters and a lot of gibberish that would be hard to figure out. So unlisted means they don't have to be logged into that particular email account that you sent it to. They can be in another, but they have to have the link in order to see it. And then public, of course, is public, and you can also schedule it too. So I don't have the brand tab in customization. I have profile and home only. Let's take a quick look at that so I can show you where to see that. If let me bring up the live demo again. Go into YouTube Studio and customization. I'll show it in just a minute once I get there. Yeah, so profile and home only. Okay, so when you look here, this is customization, Carlo. So how I got here is I was in the dashboard of YouTube Studio. You have to be in YouTube Studio. Okay, so this is YouTube Studio that you're in. And once you're in YouTube Studio, you can go down to customization and you'll see profile and home tab. And you see the banner image is right here at the very top. And now you can change or remove it. And Heather, you were asking, it needs to be, this is the dimensions. You cannot go above that dimension and it cannot be bigger than 6 megabytes. So it can't, if you put too many graphics in there, it can make it a very heavy banner image. Okay. So that's how you can find that to customize that. Now, once it's uploading, even if it's not fully uploaded, you're going to get a link to use and you can already share it out on all these places. And then once it's uploaded, that link will be live and people are able to go straight to your channel and do that. Now, shorts, this is what I want to make sure that you know, because the strategy has really changed. In 2020, it used to be, especially with TikTok coming on, that people would record video or do video on TikTok, and then they might take the icon and the image off, so the logo brand of TikTok off, and then they put it on Instagram. That was the way to go, right? So just so that you know, on a daily basis, today, this day in 2025, a billion people watch YouTube or watch TikTok shorts or TikToks. Just a billion people, a billion views. So that's what you get on TikTok every single day. With YouTube Shorts, this is not even long form video. You get 70 billion views a day. So are you missing some people by just focusing on TikTok? Absolutely. Do people who even discover products and services like Gen Alpha and Gen Z, who might look at socials first, go to YouTube and to Google? Yes, they do. When they're ready to no go, do, or buy, and they want some information to make a good buying decision, they still go there. They may discover it on TikTok and Instagram stories, but they actually, or even Snapchat, but they actually go to still YouTube for full information and also to Google. So when you see that 70 billion, what a lot of businesses are doing now is they're actually recording video and putting it on YouTube first, YouTube Shorts, because YouTube is a slow burn, but it's evergreen. It will last forever, and you'll see it as a slow start, and all of a sudden it'll ramp up. You might get 2, 4, 10 views, and all of a sudden 2,000, 4,000, 10,000 views as it ramps up because it's evergreen. Where we know that TikTok and Instagram, it's short-lived. You've got about 4 to 14 seconds that it actually lives in that algorithm, and it's seen and pushed out unless you're paying for some ads behind it. And so now you can repurpose those and share those to TikTok and to Instagram to hit some other people that are in the 70 billion views that come to YouTube Shorts every day. Now, we talked about the strategy of starting with shorts to bring them in. Those shorts could be long form video that's cut into snippets that are 3 minutes long or shorter. So if you use that URL at the bottom, you can find out more best practices from actual YouTube creators. And how a lot of people will use shorts in leveraging their business is just what I was saying. They'll make sure that the shorts are aligned with the brand, so there's that brand consistency and trust. They'll take long form video and snip it into bite-sized pieces. They'll highlight product and really zoom in, or give a little bit of BTS behind the scenes so that they can see the realness and the authenticity of a business, and people are more likely to connect with a person than a brand. We like people. We're not so much about companies as we are about the people that are driving them or they're in that company. You can use great thumbnails in your YouTube Shorts. You can also use location tags. So if you just want to show up in Dallas, Texas, because that's where you're housed, that's great to go there as well. You might want to remix it, and you always want to look at your analytics, because if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute spent that's not lifting that bottom line or getting you closer to your goal is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. So you can also put cost to action in your shorts. You can put limited time offers. You can really engage and respond to comments, which engagement, remember what I said, it's not the views, it's not the likes, it's the engagement rate that is the silver bullet right there. You can look at your YouTube analytics and find out what people are looking at and spending time on, which videos they finish, which ones they don't. Don't make any more of those that they don't finish, or shorten them up, because you're not staying within the time frame that their attention span, or capturing their attention in a way that's meaningful for them. You need to look at your engagement metrics and now iterate and improve those things that you see people gravitating and watching more of. Continue to do that. Now, YouTube in 2025, we know this just came out a month ago. YouTubers, I mean, it's where people watch anymore. It's the new TV. It's the #1 channel watched above everything else, above Prime, Amazon Prime, above Netflix, above Disney Plus. It is YouTube. All right. So what you can see here are some of the things that I know, Carlo, you were asking about. Dream Screen is AI that is in YouTube, and you can utilize this from your phone right now. Later, it'll be available by desktop, but right now it's only by phone. So you have to use the YouTube Studio phone app. You can use Dream Track, which turns your words into ideas and songs. So you can use AI generated shorts. They make image animation. You can use VO2, which state-of-the-art video and image generation. That is just now rolling out these last 3 weeks, and it depends on your region when it'll actually roll out to you. You can use auto dubbing, which translates your video into multiple languages. I do a video and I can have it translate into French, Spanish, Japanese, and Tagalog, which is the native Filipino language, within a matter of 5 minutes instantly, using my own voice and my own tone. And I've actually checked those, and they are correct. I've had people native to those languages listen to them, and they are correct. And then you can also develop community by using YouTube Shopping and Post. So you can do that all live there within your actual YouTube studio. And right now, the first 4 right there are the ones, or actually the first 3. Dream Screen, Dream Track, and VO2, again, depending on your region, are available by phone. Auto Dubbing and Community is already available by desktop. So you can find those all in the back office of YouTube, which is YouTube Studio. Now, if you want to learn more about all the fantastic things you can do in your YouTube channel, you can look at quick tips at YouTube creators, or you can learn more at Creator Shorts. All right, so you can see those two links there. I encourage you to screenshot that, or again, download the actual slides and the handout right here in the link that I just dropped within the chat box. All right, now, remember what I said, I was going to spend the lion's share of the time on what is free or small fee that you can maximize. So let's talk a little bit about YouTube ads, because we know you have to pay for ads. And I don't want you to pay for anything until you fully max out everything that you can optimize. But there are these 5 different kind of ads available. And bumper ads, 6 seconds, you can do a lot in that. But the one I want to share with you is the one that is the most cost effective and to me the most helpful because of the visibility that you get. All right. So yes, the 6-second ads, you can do quite a bit. But let's talk about the one that's the best one that I like to use, which is the skippable in-stream ads. We've all seen it. After the first 15 seconds, it pops up saying you can skip this ad, or it pops up and you have to wait 15 seconds to skip the ad. If you skip the ad, or the person who's watching skips the ad, then you don't have to worry at all about paying for anything. You only pay when they fully watch the ad. So they've got to watch it all the way to the end, or at least 30 seconds in if it's a long ad. They need to watch it. But the first 5 to 15 seconds, you're golden. But what you need to do is, knowing this, you want to take advantage of the visibility and put your logo, your brand name, and contact info in the first 5 seconds. You got to get it in there because that's the part that they can't skip. So they are watching that, waiting for that skip ad button to come up, and they're getting and taking all that in. Just like the 6-second ads, those 5-second moments, the 5 to 10 seconds, they're taking in a lot of information. So upfront, upload those, front load those, so that people will see that instantly, and you get the advantage of that. And not only that, you get this banner, companion banner, hanging out, especially if they're on an iPad or desktop, tablet, or laptop, or a smart TV. It's hanging there on that right-hand side, that your logo just hanging out there until they come across another skippable ad, and it knocks your ad out. So it gives you great visibility in the companion banner, and you don't have to pay much for, I mean, you don't have to pay anything unless they watch the video all the way through. So if you get 100 people, 200, 1,000 people who skip it, at least they saw the name of your business and they saw the companion banner right there without you having to pay a dime. Okay? All right, so the next thing for you to do is, for those who don't have a channel, create your channel. Go in there. It's time to start applying what you've learned, because again, knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. Or create and upload videos. What kind of video? What is the strategy behind the video? How are you going to measure success, and what does that look like? That's important for you to know. And then explore additional resources, which you can actually find through a few places. Number one is through SCORE. All right, definitely through SCORE. These are your resources, the people who can help you take advantage of the blood, sweat, tears, and the energy they've already put behind all of that they've learned, plus the business and recommendations that they can give you from local, so you don't have to go through the same blood, sweat, and tears and make the same kind of mistakes just to learn what they've learned. Also, work with trained and trusted partners. All right, so you see that little link there in teal at the bottom left hand, almost towards the bottom of the left hand corner there, towards the corner. You'll see that you might just want to know what you've learned here enough to make a good decision. Now that you can make a good decision, you want to hire other people to do that. All right. And I always model what I teach is, if I've provided you good information or good solution, then I would love a review. You do not have to leave me a review, but I would certainly be honored if you did. So I appreciate you again being here. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with SCORE. All right, so thank you very much. And if you see here, this is how you can connect with me on socials. I gave you my big ones that I spend a lot of time on, which is X, Maria Duron, or on Instagram, Marketing Coach Maria. But the bit.ly link, bit.ly is case sensitive. Feel free to use that to find any of my socials and connect with me on the one that you use the most. Okay, that's really what I would love for you to do, because if you actually apply what you've learned, I'd love to celebrate it. And I'd also like to follow and subscribe to your YouTube channel, because I may have lost the channel that you dropped in the link earlier amongst all of the feed that's happening here within the chat box. All right, so let's go into any Q&A that's come up that I might have missed. You're very welcome. Teresa, Kayleen, you're very, very welcome. Rajiv, thank you. Thank you, Michael, for your feedback. That means a lot to me. Diana, Cameron, thank you and welcome back. I'm glad you were here. Perfect. Let's see. Eric has a question. I know that this is slightly off out of scope, but do you see the next 5 years other video hosting platforms such as Rumble and Vimeo as being important to utilize for your business? I think it's important, Eric, for you to know where your best customer is. And that's the cool thing as small businesses is we are personal and nimble. So most of the time we know the names of our customers. We don't need to come up with a committee or to create a survey to figure that out. Find out where they're spending time. If they're on Rumble right now, then that's where you need to be. Now, I happen to always like to go back to YouTube because I feel like people still use Google search, and survey says that 96% of people still use Google search first. Of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, even 94% go to Google when they're ready to make a buy decision. So I think it's still important to have that, but you need to meet your customers, really know what your time schedule looks like, what you have time to do well, and that's what you do. You don't just want this to be a set it and forget it because people do that all the time, and that's actually a signal to the algorithm that you're not active in your business and your business may actually be out of business. Just like with social media, the last time you posted is the last time your business was in business. And that's really a strong indicator to the algorithm if you're not posting regularly. So don't start utilizing it unless you're planning to do that or have a strategy for that. And is it where your best customers are? Where do they spend time? Like, for example, I'm not a Pinterest person at all. I think it's a huge time suck for me, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't serve other people. And actually, for one of my clients who absolutely hates Pinterest, but it's the number one traffic driver and profit driver because he can actually see of the 10 people that come from Pinterest, 5 buy and they buy the most important and most expensive item that he sells. So it's important for you to know your customer that well. Then you can start making those strategic decisions. To you, but doesn't make their account public. You can't see who they are. Um, Right. You can't, again, it depends on the privacy level, and we want to honor people for their personal information. But you can still connect with them if they subscribe because now they're getting pings and notifications when you upload something or when you're having or hosting a live. Okay. Are you currently a SCORE member or plan to do so in the near future? Maybe in the near future, but I have too many amazing SCORE mentors. Right now, I'm still in the trenches, Igor. I'm still definitely very much in the trenches, but I think the world of SCORE. Um, let's see. Okay. Carlo, it's done. I mean, it's 5 minutes after, but I stay long for Q&A just to make sure I've addressed everybody's questions and answers. But if you need to go, get down the road, go. You'll get the recording later. I just want to make sure I've served everybody that's actually come here to spend the time so that they can now take and apply what they've learned. So I'm going down, but to the bottom here. I'm new to understanding. Thank you, Crane. I'm glad I was helpful, Crane. Thank you for the feedback. Again, I would be so honored for a review. You don't have to, but I would be honored. And I'm modeling that for you because always ask for a review. Okay. Just so you can grow the reviews of your business. That is one of the strongest signals to the algorithm. Yes, you'll receive a copy of the recording later today. Absolutely. And if you want, again, the slides and handout right now, if you didn't catch it earlier, there's the link to that. I'm glad I was helpful and fun and informative, Kristen. I'm glad. Thank you for the feedback, Susan. Thank you. Thank you so much for your feedback, Sydney. Yes, absolutely. Carlo, perfect. Let's see. Any other questions here? Freddie, I'm so glad I was helpful to you, Freddie. Thank you. You've made my day. I love the feedback. Yes, everybody's getting the replay, Tina, to whatever email you registered with, okay? I'm glad it was helpful. Great. I'm glad you're going to get this all implemented. Oh, perfect, everybody. Thank you so much for your feedback. Again, reach out to SCORE because they are amazing. And the SCORE mentors, I just I can't spout how grateful I am and how helpful they are. I started in a business incubator, and it was the people there, the advisors, and one of them was a SCORE mentor that really helped me understand because I'm not an accounting person, so I needed that help. And you sign up, right? And only the PDF. This is correct. Yes. And then you'll get the slides and recording later because I'm live right now. So you're not getting a recorded, pre-recorded. I'm live. So the recording's happening right now. I can't send it to you until I close everything out. Okay. You're very welcome, everybody. Um, oh, my YouTube channel. Let's see. There we go. I'm Marketing Coach Maria. It could be one of these, okay? This is my bad because I made changes to my YouTube right before I went to the Barn Restaurant Expo last week, and I haven't been back in my YouTube today, so I can't remember. It's one of those two. You will get there by going to youtube.com/Maria Elena Duron or /Marketing Coach Maria. I know, Lisa, it's too many URLs in my head, way too many. I'm glad it was helpful, Marshall. Thank you. Perfect. Any other questions? Where do we leave a review? Oh, right here. I would love for it. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you, Crane, asking. Thank you, Crane. Um, I think, Bill, I think I've got everybody's questions here.
Well, as always, Maria, you do a great job for us. We appreciate your support. Maria puts on about 2 of these for us every month. So now that you're on our mailing list, you'll be made aware of the ones that are coming up in the future. So great job. Fantastic. Appreciate your support. Thanks everyone for joining.